If Jupiter were to suddenly turn into a star, what would happen to our solar system? So we got to back up and say that we don't think that that would happen based on our understanding of how stars work. Jupiter doesn't have enough mass that at its core it would get enough pressure and enough heat to start fusing. And that's our requirement to consider something a star. Let's say it did suddenly somehow get that mass. Well, it would have to become maybe 70, 80% more massive. And that would really, really affect the orbits of everything else in the system. So that would probably throw off the orbits of Earth and all the other planets and send things into chaos. So not only would we have another source of radiation, of solar radiation, but things would be going haywire, right? And it would really depend on a lot of things, at what point in its orbit and what mass it went to, but we could expect something like the Earth getting ejected from the solar system entirely, or the Earth getting basically sent right into the sun, or crashing into Jupiter itself. It would not be a good situation. Today, the solar system is in a fairly stable place. Early on, in the early days of the solar system, which we think formed about 4.5 billion years ago, the orbits weren't as stable as they are now. Now, they can keep changing over time, but early on, Jupiter, we believe, did a bit of migration, where it actually moved into the inner solar system and then was pulled back out by a really interesting resonance with the other giant planets. And that caused havoc. That probably caused what we think of as this bombardment period that sent comets and asteroids into the inner solar system. It may have even caused the collision of different young planets at the time. Probably the reason that Earth and the Moon exist at all was because of Jupiter's migration. So any change to Jupiter's mass would have huge impacts on today's system.